How's it going, YouTube? Today I have a new video for you guys featuring my trusty Gibson Les Paul. If you haven't seen the video of me unboxing this bad boy, go ahead and check it out. I'll leave a link to that video in the description down below. But today I'm going to be replacing the strings and lemon oil conditioning the fretboard for the first time. Without further ado, let's jump right in. The first thing I wanted to kind of go over is not only is that lemon oil supposed to like make the fretboard just feel overall better, but it is supposed to almost condition it to make a warmer, nicer tone. So let's just have a very short sound test without any lemon oil on it. This thing's brand spanking new. Playing with this thing has been like playing with ashy elbows rubbing against your fingers. It's still super awesome, but I'm really excited to get that lemon oil on this neck. So let me just play a couple chords and then we'll just kind of bounce it off at the end and see if we notice any difference. Now it is really worth noting that I'm also going to be changing the strings out as well. I mean, even without the lemon oil, this thing feels and sounds awesome to play. So again, I'm super excited to see what that's gonna do to this. Alright, now before I start getting the strings off of this, I'm gonna show you guys what I'm going to put on. I have these D'Addarios. They are a 10 gauge. I went with the 10s instead of like the 9s just because, you know, supposedly they have better tone and all that. But I'm going to be trying these out. This feels like it came factory, almost a 9, I would say, from the Gibson Les Paul factory. I mean, Gibson factory that makes Les Pauls. Alright, and then I also have the D'Addario. I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but the D'Addario lemon oil. When I de-string an instrument or a guitar, I always just go kind of like knob by knob and just down tune them until it just becomes nice and easy to take off. So I'm going to do this for every string really quick. Be pulling them down nice and easy. Want to make sure I'm careful here so I don't scratch the finish. Okay, on to the other side. Sweet home Alabama. So this is where one of those little tool thingies where you just put it on and go like that would come in handy, but keeping her old school. Now if you get a string that like pops off and gives you a little itty bitty string like that, you want to make sure you throw it away, because I've stepped on a few of those barefoot and it is a no buenos. Okay, now I have the guitar completely de-stringed, ready to go. At this point, you can start like putting paper towels where you need to make sure things get nice and not like, you know, lemon oily, but I think we'll be pretty good here. One thing that I really did want to show you guys was how, like, I guess dehydrated the guitar actually was. As you can see, it legitimately looks almost like ash, which is very interesting. Looks like this here fretboard is very thirsty. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is get my lemon oil and a microfiber cleaning cloth. I'm going to put the lemon oil on the cloth, get it nice and wet. And now that it's nice and wet, start off with a little bit. I'm literally just going to slowly start wiping the fretboard. Now I want to make sure this gets nice and covered, but also want to make sure that I don't absolutely drench it with it. So you guys could already kind of see all of the coloration. Oh yeah, that looks a million times better, especially like down here. Still going to buff it out. So let me put a little bit more on and start really making sure I get every spot. Okay, so I just got finished wiping it all off, and just to kind of show you guys how the fretboard looks now, I did my best not to leave any pools of lemon oil on it. I am going to let this sit and soak now for approximately maybe 5-10 minutes or so. Come back to it, see how it looks, and then wipe off any excess oil. I might consider giving it a second coat since it is the first time this thing has ever been oiled, but this really is just a night and day difference to how it looked before. Now let this rest and I'll get back to you guys shortly. Now that I have let the guitar sit for about 10-15 minutes, I'm going to show you guys the neck, and it really looks like it just soaked all of that up. So I think I'm going to do a very light layer, one more go, let it sit for another 10 minutes, and then begin the wipe off portion of this. It may also be a good idea to get a toothbrush that you haven't brushed your teeth with, like a nice little new regular schmegular toothbrush, and just kind of scrub in between each one of the frets, getting all that muck and gunk off of it. Alright, I'm gonna let this sit for another 10 minutes and then come back and give it the final wipe down. Okay, once again, taking a look at the fretboard, everything looks really, really nice. Looks like it soaked up all of that lemon oil. So now, I'm gonna get my good, nice, clean microfiber cloth and wipe it all down. Alrighty, the fretboard is now all nice and dark and a completely different, it looks like a different wood altogether than it was before, especially here. It's like getting cocoa butter and just rubbing it all over your guitar, nice and hydrated, no more ashiness or wrinkled skin or all that. And it also helps a lot if you're in a humid environment. The wood won't expand or contract as much, and it may help a lot with not only tone but fret buzz. So let's get these strings put on and then see how she sounds. Alright, now that my fretboard is nice and oiled and looks like a completely different guitar, if I'm being honest here, I am going to put on some new strings, and if you guys would like a more in-depth video on how I do that or how to do that in general, just let me know in a comment down below. I'll string up another one of my guitars and get a little bit more in depth into it, but just because this is a little bit more focused on me oiling this up for the first time, let's just make this part nice, sweet, and short. I don't know if you guys could hear that buzz, but might have to play with the action and whatnot down here a little bit to get all that out. We'll see once all the strings are actually in and broken in, but that's one down, 5 more to go. So I'll catch you guys in a little bit once I'm done doing all of these. Okay, got 1/2 down. Doesn't look too shabby up there if I don't say so myself. Off to the second half. Okie dokie. Now that we have all of our strings on, it's time to tune this bad boy. And to tune it, I have this super snarky HZ thing. So I'm going to clip that up here and get this show on the road. Alright, so I have the Les Paul plugged back in. It is important to note that these are new strings, and with new strings come new sound, and also come like a tension break-in of sorts, where you could play for a while and you know the strings will have to actually kind of stretch out, get nice and loosey-goosey before they hold tune really well for a while. And these are the first strings that I've actually put on myself onto this guitar, so I may have to actually mess with adjusting the bridge and hopefully not the truss rod. Don't really want to mess with that too much, but other than that, let's give this thing a whirl and see how she sounds. Alright, so first impressions are these strings are just worlds brighter than the stock Gibson strings, and that putting oil, lemon oil, on your fretboard legitimately makes this thing feel like butter. Like, it almost feels like I'm just slipping and sliding on like a slip and slide. As strange as it sounds, I almost get like Telecaster vibes from this right now. I could already tell just from that little jam sesh that it's out of tune. Let me fix that up really quick. So as far as really getting into the tone and nitty-gritty of this, I won't be able to tell until the strings have really settled, but let me tell you, just the action, the playability of just sliding up and down, you really can tell a difference between this being oiled and not oiled. And as weird as it sounds, it just looks better being that dark and nice and just shiny and full of life. I don't know, I'm a huge fan of this, and I am going to make sure that every time I change the strings out or anything like that, that I condition my fretboard and really take care of this, so it could be something I could pass down to my kids someday, or grandkids or something. Other than that, I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I look forward to hanging out with you guys a little bit more, and if you have anything that you would like me to cover as far as guitar like videos go, just leave it in a comment down below and I'd be happy to try and do that for you guys. I hope you guys have an awesome day and enjoy yourselves. Later.